I want to welcome you today to our midweek devotional thought brought to you from the Florence International Church in Florence, Italy. I'm Pastor Randy McGee, and it is my privilege today to share with you a few thoughts that hopefully will be encouraging to you and strengthen you in your walk with the Lord. Today we're going to look at Nahum chapter 1, verses 1 through 7, and we're going to be talking in these few moments about the fact the Lord is good. A prophecy concerning Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite, the Lord's anger against Nineveh. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord takes vengeance and is filled with wrath. The Lord takes vengeance on his foes and vents his wrath against his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is in the whirlwind and the storm, and clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebukes the sea and he dries it up. He makes all the rivers run dry. Bashan and Carmel wither, and the blossoms of Lebanon fade. The mountains quake before him, and the hills melt away. The earth, hear me, trembles at his presence. The word and all who live in it, who can withstand his indignation, who can endure his fierce anger. His wrath is poured out like fire. The rocks are shattered before him. Now, hear this, friends. The Lord is good, a refuge in time of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him. The book for today is a hard book to read in reality. Nahum is labeled as one of the minor prophets. Now, this does not mean that their message is any less important than the message of the other prophets called the major prophets. That label simply means that their message is shorter in length. The book here bears the name of the prophet Nahum. His name means comfort. His name means consolation. It is a shortened form of the name Nehemiah. The city of Capernaum is named after Nahum. The Jews call the city Kafar Nahum, or the city of Nahum. The name Nahum, or comfort, is a strange name for this book because the book of Nahum is a book of judgment. It is a book of harsh pronouncements of doom against a people who had abandoned the ways of God. This book is a sequel book of Jonah. About 100 years earlier, Jonah had sent to the city of Nineveh, which was a capital city of the nation of Assyria. Jonah entered their city preaching a message of certain and impending judgment. And when the Ninevites heard the message of Jonah, they repented of their sins, and the Lord spared the city. But now a century has passed, and they have turned away from the commitment they made to the Lord. By the time the book of Nahum was written, the Assyrian Empire was at the height of its military and its national power. They were on the march. They were seeking to expand the boundaries of their kingdom. Beyond that, the Assyrians were guilty of attacking the nation of Israel. And God used them to punish Israel for their sins, but God would also punish the Assyrians for their disobedience and their hatred of the people of God. Nahum's message is one of judgment. In verse 1, Nahum refers to his message as a burden. This word means simply heavy. His message is a heavy message because it is a message of doom, gloom, and judgment. Nahum's prophecies were fulfilled when God allowed the Assyrians to be conquered by the Babylonians in 612 BC. While Nahum's message is one of judgment and wrath, there is one very distinct bright spot. And I'm referring to verse 7. In the middle of all the words of wrath, anger, and doom, this verse stands like a shining beacon of hope on the dark and stormy night. It says, "The Lord is good, a refuge in time of trouble. He cares for those who trust in Him." You see, today, I want to encourage you to remember that in the middle of the darkest hours of your life and the most difficult challenges that you face, I want you to remember the Lord is good, a refuge in time of trouble. You see, I know many of you today are facing situations and circumstances, and you really don't even know which direction you should turn. I want to remind you, turn to Jesus. Turn to the Lord. The Lord is good, a refuge in time of trouble. Remember, He cares for you. If you trust in Him, if you believe on His name, if you are living your life in a way that brings Him glory and honor, His care will be more than enough for you. So today, as you remember, as you think upon the fact the Lord is good, the Lord is my refuge in time of trouble, cast all your cares upon Him. Trust in Him. And I can assure you, He will be faithful to you. May the Lord bless you and encourage you today as you are reminded of His goodness. May the remainder of your week be blessed of God. May you enjoy His presence in all that you say and all that you do. I remind you to join us on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Central European Time at the www.florenceinternationalchurch.com, or you may find us at our link, the Florence International Church, on Facebook, and take part in the message of the week that God has given to us. We really desire to share it with everyone as God intends for us to do. So again, thank you for being with us today. God richly bless you as you live your life for His glory and put your faith and trust in Him.